I think that both Vertov and Flirty were probably attempting to get their vision of what their subjects were to be considered. This is what it is. Whereas, Flirty was portraying the Inuits as a very stereotypical people, following a lot of stereotypes, and a lot of the scenes were certainly staged. Particularly like the opening where they're all coming out of a canoe, and you're kind of just thinking, oh my god, how many people can fit in there? And you're not really thinking that, but you're really more thinking like, am I watching a sitcom? Whereas with Man with a Movie Camera, some of the subjects I do think knew they were being filmed, like probably the athletes knew they were being filmed. But then there's also scenes like probably the man who's injured. I don't think that he knew that he was being filmed, and we never even know what happens to him later on, so who knows what happened there. I think a good example of constructing what your subjects look like is picking and choosing your shots. Like, I could pick a shot of me at a party. And a lot of people dancing to a lot of techno music. Or I could pick the shot of students on the weekend studying or playing pool. And that's how I would actually construct my film to portray my subjects as what I find to be truthful or what I think some people would find more interesting. And while I think that portraying students as studying or drinking coffee in like a common area is certainly not the most interesting, it's certainly a lot more truthful. Additionally, Vertov actually included himself in the film sort of to make himself a little bit of the subject, whereas Flaherty was always behind the camera, and the subjects of the film were the Inuit family, whereas in Man with a Movie Camera, not only was it, random Russian people, but it was him as well. Man with a Movie Camera is actually a really good example of Barth's philosophy of phenomenology, because we are sort of experiencing seeing the camera as it's seeing what it's filming, and it sort of creates this act of seeing that is not necessarily what you'd usually expect from a film. You would see things from the view of a camera, not from behind the camera, so to speak. In his example, looking at the eyes that looked at the emperor, it's us looking at the camera that is filming the footage that we were just seeing.